Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name's Andrew. Today I'm going to be showing you some of the exterior appearance mods that I've already done on my car, as well as show you the process of painting my calipers red. So first of all, I'm going to go around and show you what I have done. See these amber lights? I had them wrapped black so you don't see them anymore. My wheels, I powder coated them black. That I did before I even started the channel, so you might have seen that in other videos. This will be turning red today. I had the A-pillar as well as over the windshield wrapped black as well, and this piece here. So normally this and this were both like a gray. They're pretty much the same color on all Solstices. I just have it all blacked out now. And I also had the windows tinted. They look a little bit darker when the top is up, but this is what it used to be like, and that's with it tinted. So I'm gonna get the car inside the garage, get it up on the quick jacks, and then we can get the wheels off and start working on getting those calipers painted. Alright, so the car's lifted now. I got it up on the quick jacks. I have a lift in the front to be safe, as well as 2 jack stands. Now we just gotta get the four wheels off so we can have access to the calipers. I haven't decided yet if I'm gonna remove them to paint them or just paint them on the car. I did this on my previous Solstice, which was a base model. I took the fronts off when I left the rears on. I might do it like that. I'll see how I feel about it once I have everything taken off, and I'll obviously let you know about that. So I've lifted the car, removed all the wheels. Now I'm gonna take this brake caliper off. I'm gonna leave it attached to the brake line, so I'm just gonna set it down here and I'll do my work that I need to while it's still attached to the car. When I painted my calipers for my base model, when I finished, even though I tried bleeding the lines and stuff, every now and then I'd still get an ABS light. So I would just want to avoid all that complication, so I'll just leave it connected to the line and I'll do my work here instead of on a table. So I've already loosened these. This was a 14 millimeter for the guide pin. There's one here, one there, and then what connects the actual caliper to the car is this bolt right here, as well as one right here. So you got one here and one here. So you got to remove those 4, and then you'll be able to have the access to clean it. I also turned the steering wheel inside the car to the left. That way I had more room to work around. So now I have the caliper here still connected to the hose where I'll be able to work on it. I have this part of the caliper too. I have the hardware out, and then I have the brake pads and clips. So I got to disconnect the other side, and then for the backs, so I've taken off both front calipers. Now time for the backs. First you have to remove this clip. This is normally a lot harder, but I've already removed one of the pins here and here. They have they had a dust cap. That's a quarter inch Allen wrench. You could also use a socket too. It comes out like that, and these are the dust caps that are on top. So you pull out the dust cap like that, and then you use the 1/4 Allen. Once you get that off, then you can, I'm sure these will be 15s again. If they're not, then I'll put a little note, but then you can remove the whole caliper. Same deal, I'll have a box here, so this is not hanging from the brake line. You also have to take into account with the e-brake cable, so that makes this part a little more complicated. Yeah, so once I have it all removed, I'll show you what it looks like. Alright, so I have the caliper removed. I have it sit on 2 boxes so it's not putting any strain on the caliper or the cable. I'm not really concerned about the cable, more the hose, not the caliper, the brake line. I just got to go to the other side. I repeat this process and then we can start cleaning the calipers and prepping for paint. Okay, so now that we have all the brakes taken off the car, I still have the ones that are connected by the hoses, but I'm doing these out the car just for extra space and to show you guys as well. So first thing we're going to do is hit it with some brake cleaner, and then we'll go in with the wire brushes. I have a smaller one too to get into the nooks and crannies. And then after that I have these wire brushes that attach to my drill, and that just lets me be a little more aggressive. After that I'll go with some sandpaper. This is like 120 grit sandpaper, and after that just rub it down with some alcohol, mask off these rubber boots just so you don't damage them. And I'm also going to be careful when I'm scraping with the wire brushes. And after you mask off, then you're ready to paint. Okay, so this part's been cleaned, it's been wire brushed, sanded, as well as brake cleaner. When I was doing this I also did have a respirator on, just to be safe. I've gone ahead and done all the other brake components as well, so now it's just a matter of wiping with alcohol and then masking, and then we should be ready for paint. Alright, so my calipers and the caliper holders have been prepped. I've hit them with the wire brush and sanded them. I've also masked off the rubber boots that need to be masked off. The calipers on the car I've masked as well. I'm just going to be showing you the painting process on this because it's a little easier to film. So what I'm going to be doing first is rubbing it with some alcohol just to take off any grease. Then after that I'll be using some VHT primer. Then the caliper paint. I couldn't find any caliper primer, that's why I'm using this. The red caliper paint. This is flame red, I believe. Real red. And then VHT caliper paint clear coat. So I'm gonna wipe it down first with the alcohol, and then I'll show you the rest of the process. Primer, red, and clear. Alright, so now that it has primer, it's dried for a couple hours. I'm going to hit it with some red, and same thing, we'll let that dry. We'll do I did a couple coats of primer. I'll do a couple coats of red. Once the red dries, I'll flip it, do the other side, and then I'll hit it with some clear. Okay, so I just flipped them. Now it's just time for some clear. Okay, so I just flipped all the pieces. Now I'm just gonna spray one of the final coats of clear. I'll do 2 coats of clear because this is the side that you see. Okay, so these have been clear coated. They've been also drying for about a day, same as the calipers that are still on the car. I just need to go around and unmask everything, then I can start bolting it up. I'll show you what the masking job was like in the on the car itself in the garage. It was really tight as far as painting goes. That's why I didn't record it. It's definitely a lot more convenient and easy to paint it out of the car than while it's still attached, but I still got the job done. So here's the front caliper that I painted. I had it standing on a box so there wasn't any pressure on the brake line, and so here's the one of the front calipers that I was working on. I had it standing on a box so there wasn't any pressure on the brake line. I wrapped that with some tin foil just because it's easier to mold. Then I used some trash bags for around the brake disc, and then just some newspaper around because I didn't want any overspray on the paint. And then in the back we have a similar setup. It's the plastic bag over the brake disc, as well as some newspaper plastic bags around the paint, as well as other suspension components on the box. And it's kind of this one was a little tricky too because we have the brake line as well as the parking brake cable still attached, but I was able to get decent coverage on it. So now I just had to unmask all 4 sides and all 4 corners, and then I'll be able to mount the brakes back on. Alright, so all of the masking has been taken off of every corner. When you're handling the calipers, since they're still freshly painted, it hasn't had a chance to cure yet because you need to put heat through them in order for it to really like grab and harden well. Just be careful that you don't touch it with dirty hands because then cleaning it is awkward. You can't just spray it with some brake cleaner because you'll mess with the paint. So when you're messing with the caliper and moving it around, make sure you have clean hands. As well as reassembling it and putting everything back on it. Try to have that clean, that way you don't mess up all the hard work you've been doing. So now it's just a matter of bolting up the calipers, and I'll show you how that's done. Okay, so for reinstalling, I put the caliper holder on first. These bolts that go back here that connect the caliper, there you go, that connect the red caliper holder to the car, they go in at according to the form at 85 foot-pound of torque, and then what holds the caliper to the guide pins right here, which are these smaller ones, are at 25 foot-pounds. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put everything loose at first, and then once it's out of the way and not risk of falling, then I'll go around and torque everything down and make sure it's all secure. And I'll show you what it looks like after too. So I have the front caliper on now. Just remember the guide pin bolts are 14 mil, and the ones that hold the caliper holder to the car, those are 15. I haven't torqued it down yet, but I've snugged them all up. It's on. I have the brake pads in, all the clips too. Now I just need to jump onto the back and get the backs done. I'll show you that too. Alright, so I have the rear caliper on now. The bolts mounting the caliper holder to the car So this one right here, those are also 85 pound, and then the guide pin bolts, the ones that are here that they were the Allen had, those are 20. So pretty much both, from what I understand of the forums, both mounting the caliper that mounts the bolt that mounts the caliper to the car are both 85 pounds. The front guide pin bolts are 25 and the rears are 20. The only thing I have left to do here still is put that metal spring that goes there, but I'm going to do that once everything's torqued down. So I'm going to go ahead and complete the other side, and after that it's just a matter of mounting the wheels on along the car and then driving it to get some heat through the calipers and cure the paint. One thing I did want to mention, when you're putting the calipers back on, and you have to obviously put the brake pads in, pushing this piston back into the rear caliper, you see those two holes. What I do is I get needle nose pliers. I put one part in each hole, and I give a push and twisting motion, and that's what's going to get it back in. If you just push, it's not going to work. You have to push and twist in order to move the piston back into the caliper. There are apparently some special brake tools that you can use, but sometimes people have issues finding them. I've always just used my my needle nose pliers. Alright, so everything's tightened up. As far as when you're torquing these, you might need to loosen the guide pins when you're trying to get the these mounting bolts for your torque pins, just to have some extra clearance. So that's all torqued up, as well as up here in the front. We got that torqued up, so now we just need to throw the wheels on and lower the car, and we're done. So that was the process of painting my brake calipers red. If you guys enjoyed the video, be sure to give it a like. If you have any questions, be sure to leave a comment, and don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.